the year was 2019. I remember vividly staring at my laptop, trying to make sense of my first JavaScript course. I actually found it quite interesting because around that period there was an online battle where people were saying that JavaScript was a programming language, but HTML and CSS was not a programming language. So at that point in time, I was thinking, I don't necessarily know any programming language because I just know HTML and CSS. So I was trying my best to understand that JavaScript course. I still remember the feeling of writing my very first hello world in JavaScript, and it showed in my console like hello world with the exclamation mark. And that simple line of code opened up a new reality for me in the world of software development. Because from learning JavaScript, I also went on to learn a lot of JavaScript frameworks, and I've used several other programming languages up till this moment. Now, fast forward to 2024, I embarked on a new adventure, which was to learn Rust. Now, why was I trying to learn Rust? If you've been in the programming world recently, you'd have noticed a little bit of buzz around Rust as a programming language. It is a language that has gotten developers particularly excited, especially in the world of modern web and game development. Rust feels like discovering a toolbox with the right tools for every job. It is super fast like C and C++, but without the headache of manual memory management. It is safe, helping you avoid frustrating crashes and bugs. And it is also versatile, powering everything from blockchain technology to game engines to high performance web servers. So for someone like me who is diving deeper into Web3, Rust is a no-brainer. Many of the biggest Web3 projects use Rust. So think about Polkadot, Solana, they use Rust. And honestly, the more I learn, the more I see a lot of possibilities that Rust can unlock outside of using Web3. So I am learning Rust because I want to contribute as a core protocol engineer. I also want to be part of building the foundation of impactful projects with Rust as my language of choice. Last year, I did a lot of things, not a lot, but I did a couple of things towards my Rust journey. I joined the Ethereum Protocol Fellowship. I did a couple of courses online even. This year, I am doubling down to take Rust even more seriously. So how am I tackling Rust? Here is the secret: structure. Now, when I was learning web development, I learned from a lot of places. In fact, I was in that thing they call tutorial hell. I kept learning from this platform to this platform and this platform and that platform. But this time around, I am not just learning randomly, I am learning with structure. I found that learning with a path or a roadmap, it is a more structured way to approach learning. So rather than doing 700 tutorials, it is advisable that you use a roadmap that has a list of all the things that you need to learn to master that language, and even have a list of projects that you can actually do to learn that language. So I found a couple of them, but the one that I particularly like and I'm still going to use this year, it is called the Rust Web Developers part on Educative. So this particular part breaks down Rust for you down to the syntax, and even goes on to show you how to build different kinds of programming with Rust, including games. So if you're interested in building games with Rust, there are like sections that helps you with that. So at the end of the day, you're not just going to learn randomly, but you're going to learn according to a curriculum, and you're going to build amazing stuff, and then you have something to show that, oh, I actually learned this thing. It's very cool, right? Now, interestingly, on Educative, you don't just learn Rust. There are several courses, there are several tutorials, there are several courses, there are several paths for you to learn. So from AI to machine learning to data to, of course, front-end development, back-end development, even interviews, like there's data structure and algorithm, and there are even interview preps to help you just in case you're trying to apply for a job in one of the big fours or maybe any other major company in the blockchain or in the software engineering world. So they have you covered on that. So I'm going to drop a link in the description. You could just click on the link I'm going to like categorize the different parts that I just mentioned, so that in case you want to learn, you're just going to see the link directly to those courses and those parts. Okay, don't worry, you can thank me later. I got you. The truth is that learning a new language, no matter how long you've been in tech, it is weird. It's like you're starting afresh in life. I don't know if anybody feels that way, trying to learn the basics, syntax, and that is exactly how I feel every time I try to learn Rust. Here are some of the things I've put as part of my structure to stay consistent. Number one is blocking out specific time to learn each day. So I'm not just going to talk. I'm actually like blocking out specific times during the day and during the weekends to actually learn. And during those times, no matter what I'm doing, I'm going to stop it and go and take those courses, to go and take those lessons, so that at the end of the day, I will be able to complete what I have started. Now, the second thing is breaking the lessons into smaller chunks. So rather than finishing the whole course in one day, I'm breaking it into smaller chunks. And that is what using a platform like Coeducative would help you with. The courses are already broken down into like smaller chunks. So you just focus on that particular section and then you leave it and continue the next time you want to learn. The third one is building projects while I am learning. So even last year, I did a lot of that. I built a couple of things. They're on my GitHub. Yeah, some of them are on my GitHub. So I was not just learning. As I was learning, I was also building stuff. It helped me to really understand Rust as a language, and it will help you to really understand whatever language you're going to be learning. So don't just learn. Ensure that as you learn, you build projects with it. The fourth one is to stay accountable. That is why I am doing this video. In case you're wondering, I'm just staying accountable with all of you. So in the next couple of months, feel free to reach out to me and ask me how far, what have you done after that video. So I'm staying accountable with my friends, telling them that, oh, I'm trying to learn this thing, I'm trying to be able to learn it for this particular reason, and please, if you're not seeing me doing that thing, drag me, give them the right to drag you. So this video is just a way for me to be accountable to all of you, so that by the time you start seeing me post Rust tutorials, you're not going to be surprised and say, when did she start learning Rust? It was since last year. Some other tips I would like to share is ensure that you're learning consistently. It is better to learn 30 minutes a day than to learn 5 hours a month. At the end of the day, those 30 minutes is going to pile up to something that is very useful, rather than you learning once in a blue moon or whenever you feel like learning. So please ensure that you're learning consistently and not just randomly. You just pick a day to like do magic. And if you stop the course halfway, you're going to leave it like that till whenever you feel the energy to do that sort of magic again. Another one is to find a community. Please don't learn by yourself. It could be your friends that have the same goal of learning that particular language. It could just be a random community online. Please join them, so that if you have questions, you would have people to ask those questions to, and they would also share resources, and more importantly, they would also share opportunities around that programming language. So please join a community. If you're learning Rust, join a community for Rust. If you're learning JavaScript, join a community for JavaScript. Whatever you're learning, ensure that you join a community. The last one is celebrate small wins. If you know anything about me, celebrate. The way I celebrate myself, I don't necessarily buy stuff for myself. It could be to cook that tutorial. It could be to cook that food recipe that I've saved on Instagram for a while. I'll just tell myself, if I'm able to finish this particular thing, if I'm able to build this project, I'm going to make one of those meals. And if I do, I'm going to go to the kitchen, cook it, sit down, eat it, enjoy myself. That's a way of me celebrating myself. Another thing is watch a movie. So I don't watch movies all the time, but then sometimes I might decide that, oh, if I am able to finish this particular course or finish this particular task, I'm going to sit down and watch this movie. And that movie has become a reward for my actions. And by the time I'm done with the movie, I'll feel so good that, oh, I really did something. So learning Rust or any programming language in general is challenging. It is not a walk in the park. It requires a lot of commitment. It requires a lot of grit and focus to actually achieve. But one thing I know is that whenever you set your mind to do something, you are definitely going to do it and come out successful. I've done this several times to learn different things, from smart contract development to smart contract security to web development to so many other things. And at the end of the day, I discovered that I was able to do it, and I was even able to teach other people. So just in case you're thinking of learning something, please, this is your encouragement. to go and learn it. If you're looking for a community, a Rust community, I mean a couple of them, you could reach out to me and I'll share the link so that you could stay accountable and learn alongside other people. Okay, I really hope this video has inspired you to go out of your comfort zone and learn those difficult things that you've been procrastinating on learning. I really hope so. If you're not already subscribed, why? Please do well to subscribe. It will encourage me to keep making these videos. These videos are not easy to make, but I really try. So please encourage me by subscribing. Also, like this video if you found it enjoyable to watch, and also drop a comment saying anything that you feel like telling me. Maybe tell me what you want to learn or what you're currently learning, and also tell me how you intend to stay consistent, because talk is not cheap. Don't just tell me you're going to do it. Tell me how you want to do it. Okay. All right, till the next one, I'll see you. Bye.